RockEyez would like to welcome Mike from Steelcity. Hey, man, what's up?
Oh, hey, man. How you doing, Brian? It's good to talk to you. Thanks for the privilege. Appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. You're out in California?
Yes, sir. I live in Los Angeles, in a fine little town called West Hills.
Right. So before you, got together with Steelcity, you were in another band, or still in a band called, what, Isidore? Or
it's called Idora, actually.
Idora. Okay, cool.
Yes, I'm from an area called Youngstown, Ohio.
Right.
And that's actually where, Ron McCloskey and Scott West, the drummer and bass player, respectively, are actually from now. They still live there. So Idora is a neighborhood in the town of Youngstown, and I just kind of paid homage to my to my hometown with the name, and because that's the neighborhood that I grew up in. And then, of course, Steel City, Youngstown is known as the Steel City. So, again, just kind of paying tribute to my hometown there and hoping to do everybody proud in the process.
Cool. Now, you did release one CD, right? Wildcat?
We released a CD called Wildcat, and we released an EP called Above the Law.
Right.
Both were, they're good efforts, and I'm very proud of them. The lead singer, Brian Colkit, not Brian Cole from Steel City, but Brian Colkit from Idora, he's a belter, man, and he had a good time doing that as well.
Cool. Was that independently released, or, self-financed and everything else?
Absolutely. It's just something that I wanted to do my whole life. I finally had the time and the means to do it. And I just couldn't think of a better way to spend my time. My wife asked me to stop riding sport bikes because she was afraid that I was just essentially going to either ride myself off a cliff or wrap myself around a pole, because I tend to be a little bit of a speed demon.
Right, yeah.
So
cool.
She just said, hey, can you find a safer something to do rather than ride that bike? So absolutely. So why not? She asked, I obliged, and it's worked out pretty well, in my opinion. I'm really happy to have done it.
Wow. Did you ever try that hoverboard thing?
No clue.
Wow.
Don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's like a skateboard, but it's I don't know how to say it. Look it up after the interview. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a skateboard thing, but I don't know how it runs. I don't know if it's like on air or whatever, and it's pretty wild. I think they banned it from a lot of places already, So
no, man,
it's kind of interesting.
Bikes and
you're
cars.
a wild guy, so figure I'd give you that a shot,
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, your wife will be real happy, right?
Totally.
So tell me a little bit about the Steel City Fortress.
What would you like to know? Where would you like me to start?
How long did it take to actually record, write, stuff like that? How'd you get together with Brian Cole, stuff like that? And I know you're going to be playing a show coming up soon, so tell me a little bit about everything and aspects of Steel City.
Okay, so I'll start off with how it got started.
Okay.
I wanted to do something a little bit different than Idora. Idora is going to end up pretty much being like the heavier vehicle of the two bands. And I wanted to do something that was a little bit different, a little bit more melodic, something that would sound a bit more like Winger, Firehouse, maybe Journey on steroids, Stryper. Those were like my really big influences. Of course, Kiss.
Right.
I wanted to do something like that, and I wanted to do it kind of like a solo record, because John Norum is like one of my guitar heroes, as is Vinnie Vincent, and these guys, they were doing their own thing, and I thought that would be kind of fun to do something where I was singing and also playing the guitar, and that's how it started. It started off as more or less like a solo project.
Right.
And I was recording the song Back on the Streets because, again, Vinnie Vincent, John Norum, both big heroes of mine. They both have played the song. Vinnie Vincent wrote it. And there's no way I'm going to cut those vocals, man. It's just not going to happen. It's way too high-pitched of a song.
Right, yeah.
At the time, I was kind of grooving to Brian Cole's Sands of Time CD, which is absolutely amazing. So I reached out to him on Facebook. Never met him before. Reached out to him on Facebook and just kind of talked to him a little bit, asked him if he'd be interested in doing a few songs on an upcoming solo CD. He was interested, liked the idea, and recorded a couple of songs for me. The first few he recorded that I can remember, or the first couple that I can remember that he actually recorded, one was Back on the Streets, the other was Turnabout. and they both came back ridiculously good. If you've heard the Steelcity CD,
yes, I did.
then you know what I'm talking about. And wow, I was talking with a couple of friends, and I said, this guy's voice is amazing. He's really just stepping up these songs to another level. And my friend Ron Williams, he's also a songwriter from Youngstown, and said, you might want to try giving this guy a shot at singing the whole album if he's interested, because he also knows Brian.
Right.
I asked. Brian said yes, and the rest is history in regard to that. Situation. He just really stepped up to the plate, and every single time that guy would send me something over, because you exchange files over the internet,
right,
when recording these days, because so many people can record at home. And wow, he would send me stuff, and every single time, I have to say that it felt like opening a Christmas present, because it just got better and better and better. It was just fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
So the songs themselves, they were all written over different time periods. For instance, Passing Ships was something that I wrote while in the process of recording the album. It was a song that came to me and just all kind of fell together. I think it had come together in like 15 or 20 minutes as far as all the different parts. And the vocals themselves, or as far as the lyrics themselves, that came together pretty quickly as well. But a good many of these songs, like Heart and Soul, for instance, that song's been in my head for at least 20 years, and I just never really had the vehicle to put the song on paper, so to speak, or put the song on tape. Now, having a home studio, you have the opportunity to sit and tinker, and all those ideas that have just been stuck, you now have an outlet, and it just flows. And it's such a pleasure to be able to do this at home, and and then release it to the world. And with today's production technology, I can reach out to a fantastic guy like Johnny Lima.
Right, yeah.
And have him, mix and co-produce and just do one hell of a job. I mean, the production on this thing is stellar, and that all stems from Johnny just being, a master at his craft, in addition to being a fantastic solo artist, just being a master at his craft in regard to mixing, engineering, and producing. And the best part about working with Johnny is that he is just so straightforward. And, it's kind of funny because sometimes it could be a bit brash,
right?
But he comes from such a good place when he does it, and he's usually laughing as he says stuff to you. You get a chuckle out of it when you get the text from him says, "Hey man, call me." Like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
But it comes from such a good place, and he just really can, share with you and intimate, like, hey, this solo might not be just right for the song. You might want to try doing a couple of different things. And his suggestions all come together, and then, you put the mix on top of it, and wow.
Right.
And before I forget, I would be remiss if I did not mention the great keyboard playing that Tony Stahl did on this album too. Tony's in a band called Livesay, melodic rock band, with a beast of a guitar player, Greg Livesay.
Yep.
But Tony came in and just said, "Yeah, I'd love to play on this album as well," and did another knockout job with everything that he put on the album. And then when we were thinking about playing live, we were toying with the idea of, okay, are we going to go with two guitar players, or would we like to have a keyboard player? And with all of us being big fans of like a heavier edge melodic rock, but liking bands like Journey, and some other bands that actually have keyboards, we're like, that would be really cool. Maybe we can incorporate like some Deep Purple-ish type keyboard tones or something into some of these songs. It would be fun. And to have Tony on board, just a master musician, we cannot wait to play this show, New England Rockfest.
Wow, cool.
Sorry if I rambled. I got excited.
Good. That's good. People want to hear that. It's definitely good. I'll be at the show, and so will another writer of mine. We'll both be at the show.
Oh, excellent.
So we'll meet up there. You have any other projects you're working on? Between these two.
We've got some songs written for both albums, actually. I think the Steelcity, we've got somewhere right around 40 or 45 songs,
right,
legitimately, in regard to recording the next album. Right now, we are so focused on these two shows and trying to make sure that when we step on that stage, we can leave a lasting positive impression with folks. We are practicing our tails off, all individually. The guys, Brian lives about an hour away from Scott and Ron, so those guys get together and they practice as well.
Right.
We're so focused on that we'll kind of concern ourselves with the next album, maybe after this show or maybe even after Rock and Skull, because this album's so fresh that we still want to give it the opportunity to stretch its legs.
Right.
The Idora thing, I have some songs written for it, and they are all heavier than the last album, and that's going to take some time for me because I tend to write stuff that, like I said, is a bit more of the Kiss, Firehouse, Stryper, Winger, Warrant. That's kind of like where my wheelhouse is, and I can write heavier stuff, but it just takes me time to get there, and that's kind of what Brian Colquitt was really hoping for. So that's what I'm writing. Some of those songs are just nasty.
Right.
But but again, it's going to take a little time, and there's no rush.
Right.
If you're going to put something out for public consumption, the one thing you want to make sure of is that you want everybody to be satisfied with it. You don't want them to walk away going, "Wow, they had one or two really good songs on that album." You want them to walk away with it saying, any single one of those songs could have been the single.
Right. Yeah.
And while I'm talking about that, I just want to thank everybody also that has reached out to Steelcity, has picked up the CD, has shown us support, because that's just truly a humbling experience for, a blue-collar, originally from the Midwestern kind of guy, to see that kind of love coming through on Facebook and social media. It's a bit shocking, but at the same time, it's surreal. It's surreal, and it's just makes you feel just man. I can't describe the feeling it gives you. So thank you to everybody who's been supportive of Steelcity. I appreciate that.
Cool. Now, how is it working with John Kibble?
Well, let me tell you, John, has been nothing short of spectacular. That was one of the best moves I think that the band Steelcity could have made, was to sign with Kivel Records. We were shopping the CD before, signing with John, and I got some feedback on it, so I reached out to John and I asked him, I said, "Hey man, what do you think? Can you give this a listen, just hear the mix, tell me what you think?" He heard one song. I think the song I sent him was Turnabout.
Okay.
And the first thing he said to me was, "Dude, it's spectacular. The mix is amazing." He asked to mix it. When I mentioned Johnny Lee, he goes, "Oh, duh, of course it's great." But yeah, so Johnny's reputation precedes him for sure.
Right.
But so he listened to that, and then he listened to a couple other songs, and within a few minutes, I was getting a phone call from John, and he just told me, "If the rest of the album is as good as this, I think we've got a winner. I'd be happy to have you on Kivel Records."
Cool.
I made him listen to the whole album.
Good.
Just so he could have peace of mind that the rest of the album stood up to the three songs that he heard, and he loved it. I can tell you that everything that John has said, has come true. Right. Everything that John has everything that John is a man of his word. He stands behind everything that he says, and everything he does, he takes action on everything he does. It's been nothing short of spectacular working with John Kibble. Cool. Can't say enough good things about the man.
Cool. Now, you also mentioned Vinnie Vincent a couple times. What do you think about him making a comeback?
I am. How can I say? The guys pick on me because I'm a Vinnie Vincent fan.
Right.
And that's okay. For me, because they just kind of give me a little bit of a hard time because I'm a diehard Vinnie Vincent fan. But that's fine. I would love to see Vinnie make a comeback, and I would love to see him reach out to his fans and actually just have genuine moments with them, true organic moments with his fans, because right. I think that's what they've been waiting for 25 or 30 years now.
Right, yeah.
And for him to actually, I'd love to see him make new music.
Uh-huh.
And if he was able to do it, say, with Robert Fleischman, wow.
Yeah.
Again, it would be just like a dream come true for so many of his fans. So of course, I'd be encouraging of it. Hey, if he's listening, dude, do it. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. I heard he's playing an acoustic show in December.
That's the rumor about town.
Right.
So hopefully that's the start of something something bigger. Hopefully it leads to bigger things.
Right.
Like electric shows, getting a band behind them and actually doing some shows that you could actually go in and rock out to.
Cool, cool. And they do mention Fleshman doing an acoustic set with them, if that comes true.
That would be nice. Perhaps it might be a time to vacation to, I think it's Nashville.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. Never been to the Music City. What better time to go?
Cool, cool. Now you're going to be playing the New England Rockfest coming up soon, in about 2-3 weeks. And what can fans expect from Steel City?
Well, this is going to be our first show as a band.
Uh-huh.
What I can tell you is from the practices that we've had, because I've flown into Youngstown for the practices, I can assure you that they are going to get 110% of everything that each member of this band has.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. We're all enjoying ourselves. We're having a good time. Ron's having a great time behind the kit. I'm really just, having a great time with the guys because I haven't done a lot of live shows. These guys have. They're all seasoned veterans. I'm more of like the guy that's been in the studio and tinkering around there. And I can tell you that it's coming along great. The live feel is good. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a 45-minute set, so just 45 minutes of a good time.
Right, yeah.
45 minutes of Brian Cole just tearing through some songs and sounding like a beast.
Cool. Definitely cool. Yeah, we'll be doing a review and a photo gallery of the festival for that 2 days. So you'll get to see a lot of your pictures on our site RockEyez. So this
excellent.
This is like a stepping stone for us too. We never been to one of Mr. Kibble's festivals, so it should be entertaining, a lot of fun too. So hopefully everybody enjoys themselves and supports the show, and selling our merchandise, and hopefully fans support everything that happens at that festival. So it was great.
Well, it's good that you're
Good.
It's good that you're diving right in.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's gonna be excellent to meet you in person. If you're gonna be taking a lot of pictures, I'm gonna wear a lot of black because it's slimming.
Yeah. We just go have fun. We just finished doing a couple other festivals and stuff like that. So, it's time, instead of flying everywhere, just to drive down, enjoy ourselves, get away from the family for a little bit, and have fun with a lot of friends. So it should be a lot of fun. So,
well, John's really gone to great lengths to make this show something special for everybody. I think the prices that he's put out there, I think, was it $30 a day?
Yeah.
It's really affordable when you consider the fact that you're getting Eric Martin on Friday night.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And then you come back on Saturday and you're getting Firehouse.
Yeah.
CJ Snare, Bill Leverty. Come on.
Cool.
$60 for 2 days of music with all the great bands that are on John's label as well, past and present.
Right.
And then he doesn't do anything halfway. He's already set up a deal with a local hotel.
Right. Yeah.
He's going to have shuttle service back and forth from the hotel or even other hotels in the area if you're staying there, because he wants to make sure that everybody not only has a good time but remains safe.
Right.
Nothing is done halfway. It's going to be a blast, and we're all just really pumped about that. I think this is going to be a special show for a lot of people, and hopefully not only us, but bands like the Rumors and the Great Affairs. Hopefully we will all gain some new fans as well for the people that are there to see, Firehouse and Eric Martin.
Right. And Eric Martin got two of my friends actually playing with him, Steve Brown and PJ Farley, from Trickster.
That's right. That's like Trickster.
Yeah. So
Trickster minus Mark Gus Scott.
That's it. So I'm a Jersey guy, so they're around here, so get to see them again. They're probably sick of us, but, they'll have to see us again. So, Mike, it was great talking to you, and I love the Steel City Fortress album. Hopefully everybody supports it, and, anybody who don't have it, pick it up at the show and, enjoy some great music. So, it was good talking to you, man. I appreciate the chat.
Oh, man, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, Brian.
No problem. You want to say anything to the fans out there?
Again, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting us, because I think it's just fabulous and extremely humbling. If you have the opportunity to go to New England Rockfest, please do. Just come out, enjoy, rock out with us, not only us, rock out with all the other Kibble artists and Firehouse and Eric Martin. And just have a good time.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Take care.
Bye-bye.